rest on the stream. Always we can with our warm-up. So move your wrists around. Try to move from your shoulders here and get some blood flowing in your wrists and hands. What feels good. There's no right and wrong here. Try to go to different angles. That's the bottom part. Hold them forward and slightly bounce back. Feel stretch on the inside of your wrists. And just stay still here too. Comfort. Try to increase. At least go as far as you feel a stretch. Go so. Then switch. Either do it backwards, then you can bounce again, or do it sideways. I find sideways a little bit more intense. Here, the left right in that case. Different. Whether it's like active. Your knees with your shoulder cuts. Okay, so that's the right position here. So one arm fixates the upper body so you don't rotate. Keep yourself from rotating, also rest in. Slowly move your arm up, push out of the shoulder. Up. Try to get your shoulder to your ear. Rotate and go as big of a circle as you can. And hold it on the back for a couple of seconds. Down. Relax. Then back up. Go as far as you can here without rotation. Without bending forward or something like that. You want to be upright with the body. Slowly rotate back. Do it slowly so we feel every inch. And notice where we might have some restriction. Can work on that. Push up tall, again, other side. And try to hide the arm behind your back as much as possible. Draw as big of a circle as you can. I'm not the form you should get. You should go as far as you can go and try to push yourself. It's not a competition. It's just for yourself benefit here. So it's no use if you do something where you don't feel any stretch at all. It doesn't help you. Nobody else cares. Especially I don't really care if you do it right or wrong. You're yourself, you're going there. I think something you have to get in your mind. You yourself are taking care of your body, not somebody else. And you yourself should know where your limit is. You should try to increase that. So you get better after a while. You probably will feel better too. Although it's hard, I get that, but try to watch yourself and be your own worst enemy in that case. the cobra. Stay here. There again. Go as close with your hands as you can. Try to push yourself there. Don't be like, okay, you have to be besides your hips or something like that. You should know what your limit is, or try to find your limit. Stretching is quite nice for that, because you probably should know, okay, does it hurt, does it not hurt? If it hurts, you're going too far. If it doesn't hurt, yeah, only have to check, do you feel a stretch? Could you go farther, or is that the max you can go? So we're gonna start off with our handstands. First one is on the wall. We will do less on the other exercises. I will do more on play, because normally that's the skill work, and playing around is a little bit more skill involved. Yeah, for stretches, I think you do you. I recommend visiting classes, explaining stuff, and always keep yourself reminding, okay, if I do the exercise, or rather, let me say, when you do an exercise, don't look at the other people how can do it, don't look at the teacher how they do it, follow the instruction, but you might need to find your own way where you can do it in a safe experience, and you don't get hurt, or you feel, okay, now I can make progress. But it's always important to have the right form. Yeah, so you should do the exercise the right way, wrong ways. But trying to go too far because, oh, the teacher tells me I have to bend backwards as much as possible. Yeah, as much as you can, not as much as she can or he can. Gonna go onto the wall. I'm gonna do a wall walk. Oh, sorry. Maybe you can hear me then. So what you're gonna do is a wall walk against the wall. And go as close as possible. Hold there for 1 minute. Only your toes are touching. And try to stand here. Rest in. Hips a little bit forward. Look between your fingers. And only your toes should be touching. Push out of your shoulder. As much as possible. Cannot stand for 1 minute. 1 minute is quite long, so don't recommend doing that. Try to increase the duration you can stand on the wall. And also try to go out the same way you got in. Really did that. So switch setup here. Moved it a little bit to the side. So wall handstands can be quite tricky, especially wall walks. You'll need to have a good form the farther you go into the wall. The more open your shoulders are, the better you are, the closer you can get. The goal should be standing like 1 millimeter from the wall with everything except for the toes. Then you know, you go closer, you're just touching the wall. There's like nearly no airspace between you and the wall. But work your way slowly towards it. Don't try to, oh no, I'm that far away. It's the same thing I meant with stretching. It's a good example for that. You go as far as you can with the correct form, and then you stand there. If it's farther away, it's farther away. You might not be in a complete line, you might be bent with the legs, but that's good. What you want to do is you try to get your torso and your hip above your shoulders. If you do that and your legs are bent to the wall, perfectly fine. That's where you want to go. Then the better you feel there, the stronger you get, the closer you can go to the wall. You will feel that. You feel, okay, now I can go closer. But watch out. You're pushing yourself there, you might fall out. So keep some free space. If I gotten closer at that one, I would have fallen forward. Yeah, that's how you start. And as you can see, I'm trying to work my way towards one arm, still doing wall handstands. Just such a useful tool. You don't have somebody that spots you, or in the beginning especially. You just have the wall for safety. I recommend doing wall walks instead of jump ups, because it's a little bit more precise where you actually are. With a jump up, you're just overshooting essentially with the kick up, and you might be still in a banana from your shoulders. Correcting that is a little bit harder than doing it with a wall walk, as you can only get as close, and the jump up you cannot, you can try to move, but moving handstands are extremely hard if you want to do it correctly, because when you move in a handstand, you're pushing from the shoulders, your elbows never bend. That's an actual walk. Everything else is not a real walk. Ah, 5 seconds, man. Interesting. Yeah, I'm using my laptop for 5 seconds delay, so I sometimes look at it and see how my form was in the end. I recommend either recording yourself and watching the recording. You can give yourself feedback and be a little bit strict on yourself. Just by being restrict yourself by observing what is happening. Not necessarily correcting anything, just observing. Oh, okay. Oh, my shoulders are not bent. Let's think another sentence. How you can say that to yourself. So you don't want to put any judgment into it necessarily. You want to look from an outside perspective and say it as a neutral statement. I look at it. Oh, my shoulder is not above my butt is not above my shoulder. So let's try to get that body above it. How do we do that? We probably have to open up the shoulders a little bit more and push out from the shoulder. Let's see. Couple more seconds. When did I start? I started around 4, I finished at 4:40, finished around 5. We have 40 seconds left. So what I recommend is, you have to think about what you want to do is rest in, engage the core, belly button slightly up. So engage the hip a little bit, legs together, knees touching, and toes pointed. Then push out of the shoulder, try to get your shoulders to your ears, and look between your thumb and point finger in the middle. Do the next one here. Maybe I can talk while standing. Always a little bit scary to have the mic in front of me, but I just have to watch out that I don't fall. Shoulder was not open there on both. If that happens to you, I recommend going out for a couple of seconds like I do now, reset yourself and go in again. Better? As they find balance, look if you can correct anything and fall out. I think I have to do a little bit more of pressing. Start talking as soon as I stand for around 15 seconds, then I know that I have to balance there, instead of immediately talking and get distracted by it. was interesting. My hand moved. Might not have been in the perfect hand position beginning, because it feels nice now. Here try to stand in as straight as possible. Keep everything stacked. Light engagement everywhere around 30%, except for your shoulders that should be firing around 70, 80 or 100%. A little bit of curve. But there we go. Did it take it longer? I think it took longer because I had a couple of repetitions there. Yeah, that sounds about right. Because last time I didn't have any failed sets. I think I talked a little bit less and therefore I started earlier. I think the perfect thing still is somebody spotting you so he or she can correct you. So you know, okay, what do I have to correct? Otherwise you're standing for your like max time or your set time. Like you set yourself, okay, I know on a good day I can stand for 15 seconds. And let's try 5 seconds. For example. It's not a lot, but try to do 5 seconds in a straight line. So you don't count the kick up going into the right position, because that might be a problem for you too. I didn't go in the last set, I didn't go in perfect line. I got up and then I had to correct my line again. Essentially what you want to do is, if you do a kick up, you want to kick up and stand there. No going over, no going back, and you already being pushed out tall and there's no correction needed. You might be able to push out a little bit taller. I think that's just the way how handstand works, or how the body works in that case. Yes, if I instantly push out, I'm locking myself. I mean, might still be possible. We'll see. Didn't talk about that. Other people have to look it up, how other people see that part. There's also a part where how much do you want to push? Do you want to be completely pushed out? I recommend doing as much push, especially in the beginning. If you think you're pushing enough, no you don't. Push more. You have to go way higher with your shoulder. Good example is touching your ears. Then you're probably in the right position. Might also be possible that you can still push a little bit more. As soon as you start doing longer handstands, pushing out completely 100% the whole time might not be the right answer anymore. You wanna be like 70-80% extended, pushed out, so you have a little bit of room to move around and you don't spend yourself that easily. But that only works if you can already stand good, no matter how much strength you give into it. You have your line and could do like scalp puller push-ups. That's a good example. Like, can you do a scalp puller push-up in the handstand? Did it as a warm-up where only your shoulders are moving, pushing, you're squeezing them together and pushing them out. or you're pulling them down and pushing them up again. Can you do that in a handstand? Then that would be the equivalent of doing like 100% pushed out and 80% not completely pushed out. That's then for if you start doing other things. Mostly you want to still be 100% pushed out. Hold it there. Next up we do straddles. We have a long enough of break now, so we're gonna just stand there in a straddle. I do around 1 minute, split up in however long I can hold it. I'm already worried about the microphone. I could have held it a bit longer. Just to try to give an example of the sentence I said. So I started around 80% pushed out. I wasn't completely pushed out in the straight. Then I got down. Then I started to push again, because I have to counterbalance the whole thing. You do that by either being bending the hip or by pushing out of the shoulder so it doesn't move backward and forward. And yeah, then I started to push more the lower I got. I had to do the same thing, like 80, 80, 80, 80, 85, 87, 90, 100. The more I pushed, the easier it felt to go down and be able to hold it. But then if I stayed in the 80%, maybe I probably would have fallen out. Or my elbow starts to bend. You never want to have bent elbow. Don't think there's any handstands where you want to have a bent elbow, except for handstand push-ups, but yeah, you want to bend, otherwise you cannot go down, but otherwise you don't want to bend your elbows at all. If you did that, you do something wrong. Look, okay, did you just go too far because otherwise you couldn't hold it? Or what probably happened is that you don't have enough strength to push and hold the position you want to go in. Or your flexibility is not good enough, so you're compensating with your strength. And it also could happen if you're flexible and you still have not enough strength, then you have to work on your strength instead of your flexibility. Couple more seconds here, then we do another set. Yeah, that happened. Didn't push enough, so my elbow started to bend a little bit. And that costs lots of energy and strength to save yourself from falling out there. Or you want to go a little bit, if you're there and you still want to save it. And don't necessarily recommend saving something like that, because it's better to restart. You want to get like, okay, can I save myself? I want to learn that a little bit too. So it might help to push sometimes that limit. How you gonna do that is probably you're gonna go higher with the legs again, so it should be easier, and then you can push yourself back into position. As soon as you find balance, shoulders, and you notice, okay, I'm stable again, then you can concentrate on the legs and move them. Instead of dropping the legs, you're slowly pulling them down. Sorry, I used the word pull again. You don't want to necessarily put any strength into it. It's around 10 to 20% of your effort. And you're just gonna lower your leg actively down. Move it down. You can stop at any point, that's the point here. You're just not dropping it. You can go, stop, go back up or go down. You can stay in every position, because you have complete control over your leg. You go as far as you can, beginning, and see, okay, where do I feel resistance? Where do I have to put in more effort? If I want to go farther, I noticed, okay, I would have to engage my muscles and pull with them down, so I can go lower. That's where you normally want to stop. Then you have to work on your flexibility. If that position is 90 degrees, you're done. Yet again, maybe you want to still work a little bit on your flexibility. But it's not wrong to do it a little bit with strength too, like pulling down the legs a little bit more. You can do like a pancake in the middle split, and you cannot do that in a handstand, complete 90 degrees. Then you probably need to put a little bit more effort into it. No, it shouldn't be the case. Normally, if you can do that, you have probably the struggle of actively pulling them down instead of just letting them drop. If you're doing it, actively pulling down, you're there. Everything else is just a form question. How long can you maintain it? So you're working on your endurance then. I got a little bit too fast down there. Instead of pulling down, I just dropped. With the top light on, it's a little bit better, I think. Picture looks better. Just gonna take a rest, because that was a failed set. I recommend doing like 1 minute rest or something like that, depending on where you are. If you do a class, you probably don't have that much breaks, but then somebody is spotting you and you can they save you. So somebody would have just pulled me a little bit up until okay, I'm safe again, and then I can go down again without falling out. Takes me a little bit too long to go back up, then I see it. But I don't want to rush up. I'll rush up back to the straight handstand. Should be the same movement. Complete control. I can pull down my leg, hold it, and pull it back up. I used the word pull again. Actively moving down the leg, staying there, and actively moving it back up. That's the right wording I want to use. Something I learned over the time. It's really important how you say necessary something, because it might be understood in the wrong way otherwise. Because if I say pull, I think some people will think, oh okay, I can just engage and pull down with my strike. That's not what you wanna do. It should be an active movement, like lifting the arm. I'm not using my muscles for I'm using muscles for that, but I'm not using necessary any strength. It's just an active movement. So same thing you want to do with your legs. Stuff we're gonna do ducks, a little bit slower today. Not really. Okay. Yeah, a couple more seconds before we start the first one. Gonna do a total of 30 seconds. And I do like 3 times 10, where I try to go back up too. So that's why I don't want to extend the time. I know, for example, I could stand like 15 seconds to 20, but then I'm probably falling out and my form might not be where I want to be. I want to be in a 90 degree with the leg and the hip, and shoulder extended without a planche. So normally I say, or what should be possible for me is 10 seconds, where I keep this form the whole time and have no problem going back up. See how it goes. I had a little bit too much weight on the end of my knee. It was a little bit below the 90. I would have... Yeah, I didn't curl my hip enough. I think the shoulder was actually fine, but it couldn't... I'm not strong enough to keep this low of a position when I'm this far out. That one. One way to reset the timer. Hope hope you enjoyed my hip. Gonna refill really quick. And let's do a better, hopefully a better one on the second set here. That was not really a good one, especially it was only 8 seconds and I couldn't hold it in the end because I was not in a complete straight line. Also I got too fast up because I noticed I would fall out. Then I tried to go up. The same thing as straddle, you wanna have slowly, actively go down with your legs, hold it, and go actively back up. Perfect would be the shoulders is never moving. You extend it in a straight line, go down with your legs, hold it, go back up with your legs. Shoulders never move backward or forward. You do probably have neither the strength nor the flexibility to hold it. I recommend going as far as you can and trying to go to 90 degrees or start off on the wall. Really good exercise. Incorporate it in the beginning when you start doing handstands. Wall sliding into attack as far as go down as far as you can and go back up. Do this like do a couple of repetitions. So you feel, okay, yeah, that's the movement. And also do some holds. Otherwise do some stretches too. Forward bending. Always good. Depending on what you lack. Oh, I was a little bit forward. Okay. It's such an ugly start. I had so much trouble getting into the straight line. I jumped a little bit sideways. Did I catch that again? And I was already thinking, do I really want to do that now? Okay, let's do it. And the way down was also first up, just drop the lower leg down. Really bad idea, because then you suddenly have the weight above the shoulder, and what normally happens is that you go in a banana position then. Not really good if you do that, because it's your knees that should move down. So it's not lifting the lower leg and then lifting the knee. It's just lifting the knee and pulling the lower leg down at the same time, so you don't go backward, go straight down. You want to keep your knee as close as possible to your body or above your shoulder. The easier it is. First, if you're flexible and can bend backwards, your knees is suddenly the one that's staying above your shoulder, and then you are in a line, even though it looks a little bit more back bended. which is fine too. But if you do that, consider what you want to do. Do you want to increase in a straight line, or are you happy with that position? And notice, okay, yeah, you can do stuff from this position. You can use your flexibility, but recommend maybe do a little bit more focus on strength then. For me, it's more focused on the stretching part. I stretch normally 3 times a week. I get more flexible and I'm on par with the strength that I have, because I can stand in a straight line without the hip moving backward or forward. Got the breast split. We are happy with that. It'll still be a Deload, not a real workout. Already more of a rest, so we can push ourselves next week, starting next week again, Wednesday. Did it? Oh yeah, it did. So diamond next. Diamond is you go down in a position with your knees to the side and your legs together, or your feet together. Perfectly would be you touch toes and sole are touching each other, and you go into a 90 degrees. Depends a little bit on your body form. You might not be able to go completely down. I'm probably gonna go a little bit forward, so I have a little bit of a closer angle, so I can touch more, so the feet can touch them. It's mostly because I don't have the 180 degree open hip. And we're gonna stand there. It should be easier than a duck and a diamond. It should be the duck and the straddle. Diamond should be the easiest form. You might want to start off here. Don't necessarily recommend it. I rather recommend doing the duck. A diamond is just a little bit more show thing. You can use that to, for example, when you start doing like side bending stuff, it might be getting easier if you try it in a diamond, because you're more compact and you're not that, but you're in the middle between extended and legs together. It's definitely easier to hold. It's just easier. Yeah, like said, bending gets a little bit more easier because it's easier to hold. But that's a little bit more of a show thing, diamond in the end. But you can use it as a progression, for example, too. But I rather recommend do the wall ducks and then the freestanding ducks, because they help you way more. Because you have to push out way more of the shoulder, especially on the wall. As soon as you reach the 90 degrees, so your knees start touching the wall, you will increase your strength for the straight too. So, I mean, it's cool to do diamond and then open up to a straddle. Shouldn't be that hard necessarily. Also, the diamond can help you in transitions. But at that point, if you're doing forms like I will do now, the diamond should be just, okay, yeah, it's diamond, whatever. It just helps me to make it easier to go, for example, from a straddle position to attack. Instead of going immediately there, I'm putting my fiddle together and then I just have to pull my knees together. It's 2 steps instead of 1. Diamond doesn't necessarily lead to any more advanced exercises. The better you get in the duck, the sooner you will have the feeling, okay, now how can I increase that? How can I, what can I do now? Okay, let's extend one leg. And we still hold the same deftness. Or do I move up? At some point you want to extend both legs, hold the 7, and then you can do 7s. There's, yeah, okay, you might be able to do a diamond and go to a straddle, but the difference there is really not that much. Instead of attacking the 7, the difference there is, yeah, might be years. Did it not? Yeah, it did not. There we go. Weird. Worked until twice. Look up why it's not working anymore. Yeah, so Tag 7 is like so much difference there. Doesn't matter, you go to the side, you're still stacked with the hip and the mill. And yeah, it's definitely harder to hold the straddle than a diamond, but it's not that hard to learn, I think. Depends on the person, of course. So if there's somebody out there who has problems can do a diamond and not a straddle, okay, then your example of everybody works in a different pace. That's fine too. You might want to start doing them on the wall or something like that. Yeah. So play around. What we're gonna start off is we're gonna go into a straddle, and then I'm gonna do some leg waves. I'm quite bad at them. Feel like I don't know what to do there exactly, so that will be fun. That's why I called it play. I'm already smiling because it's gonna be a mindfuck for me. So. Yeah, no fucking clue what I'm doing. I think I should do more of a little bit of like side movement with the legs. So not side bending. Side bending would be side ribs pulling in here. So we're doing the leg movement. We will do some side bends on the wall actually. And get get that ready. We'll have to move the green screen a little bit. We'll do it on the wall. So let's try another leg. A little bit too much speed there. Yeah. That should be enough space. Sorry for the reflection of the light. I hope it's not too extreme. I still have to find a little bit better setup for that, I think. Gonna do step bending on the wall, so if our toes are touching the wall, gonna go down side bend. So we're gonna ribs in on one side and open up the rib cage on the other, and then go to the other side. That's the movement you wanna do. Also, you wanna do in the one arm. You're not bending from the hip. You're not like doing this. What your goal is, you wanna get the shoulder above your opposite hip. So if you do it like this, yeah, my shoulder didn't. So my shoulder is not in line with the opposite hip. How do I do that? By twisting side. I have shoulder and opposite one line. You want to side bend. Not what might happen. It's a little bit more forward bend. You don't want to do that because then you're not in line anymore. Always recommend if you don't try to do it on a slippery floor, because normally I say, okay, you need to have enough strength to hold yourself, especially when you start with blocks. It shouldn't matter where the blocks are standing. If you have enough control, you go onto the block and then put weight on it. But before you're able to do that and you're already starting doing it, get something that's not slippery, and or get a wall, and also something below the wall that's not slippery, like a mat. Come on. We'll have to find a better setup for that. because what I did there is not what I recommend. Moving to the side. Especially had to move the mat too. It still was not enough so that I have enough space to go down to the side because small block there from the door. I touched that. Perfectly hole for a white wall, completely empty. Can freely move around. Something wherever you go, the more wall space you have, the better it will be. Especially if it's perfectly would be flat ground. So, and a flat wall on behind you. That's not. It has no holes or anything on it. Gonna do one sequence. Duck, straddle, one leg up, other leg up. Maybe one leg down. Let's do one leg down, other leg down. Open up the straddle, one leg up, other leg up. I guess nice. Even in the reverse order. So, yeah, let's do the cooldown already. Don't wanna spend too much time on the deloads. Around 1 hour. I rather recommend doing like 70%. It's not perfectly there. I mostly did half on the straddle. I did half on the duck. I skipped and I did some exercises I don't do normally, so we have there like a skip there. But yeah. Also, would be probably a good idea to take a break. Taking a complete week off is something I don't really like that much. Especially every month, I don't think it's a good idea. Maybe we do it in 3 months, where we do a real, like, I don't know, just warm up for handstand. I have like a stretching program and a preparation program for handstands too, so maybe we do that. That doesn't include doing any handstand. I think relaxing the neck is a good idea, or I'd always do cool down, relax the neck. So I forgot that the splits key is not working. If you have a black roll, we're gonna roll so our shoulders out here. So put the roll below your back. Try to keep the hip on the floor. straighten your legs, straighten your hands if possible. You can stay here too, it increases the difficulty. Gonna move slowly up over the black roll. Take your time here. I don't think you need necessarily any weight for your arms. I saw people doing that, but should be enough. Breathe. Don't forget to breathe. That's the most important part here. If the big black roll is not doing any work for you anymore, or it's not necessarily good for the neck too, because you cannot get into the right position there, either get a smaller black roll or get the double ball, the small ones, or do it like me. I just bought 2 lacrosse balls and put them into a sock. And these things are killer, so be careful. Because you really get deep into the muscle. You have to get used to laying on it. But I tell you, it's so nice. Move your shoulders around. Stop it. Phew. You get the black roll, different sizes. But this one is probably, I think, the best one I bought or constructed in my way, or constructed in my case. Does a silver ball do? That's enough. I don't know. It's useful too. You probably have to split up and things like doing the neck. Because you want to do left side and right. Don't want to be on. Yeah, that's sign for. Say goodbye for today. Well, thanks for watching. I will see you on Wednesday, and we will do the we will do normal sets again. So we will work on Wednesday and Friday on our strength, and Sunday is gonna be skill works. See if it was enough of a break, or if we get to go struggling again. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.